but you don't have to. This just could be another game that is not about the food here. We'll probably get it from you on your body, but it's more about catching up as well. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, Melissa. Okay. So, and it's a game. So it's a little game. I like, once the dogs get used to it, I think they enjoy it. And it's also going to help to get his rear in, that kind of thing. So we'll make it so it's something not too hard. Okay, so it would be, like I'll take this away. So it's the same, it's a little bit of catch up. So you give that finger cue again. Okay, so I'm here, about right here. You're gonna finger cue. Nigel, ready, blah, blah, blah. Nice, heel. Okay, and he catches up and sits beside the cone. And then on the next one, you're over here. He has to make the effort to come in like this. Okay, and see how he deals with that. And then once they start getting good at it, I'll do where I'm like, I'm over here, ready, smart, strike, and then do a turn like this. So then he has to really work his rear. And the cone helps to get the rear in.
Right.
Okay? So try that with him and see how he is with it. You can give him a treat from you if he does a nice job on each one. But you can make it more challenging once the dog starts getting familiar with it. So have him so he's kind of straight on for the first one at least.
Like, oh, over here.
And then, yeah, and then you can make it a little harder and a little harder. And make it fun. Ready? Yeah, that's the idea. Good boy.
Excellent. Good.
Good.
Look at that. They put in.
Now you leave him there. Go to the next one.
Wait. Nigel, strut.
And that's it. And this is why I like this game, because they really get to know where heel position is. So you can call him to heel position from extreme angles. Now this one, as he's coming in, you may have to kind of help him around, but I want you to stop on the side.
Over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready, Nigel, strut.
Okay, move, move, move. Right.
Good boy.
Good. So, Michelle, I find doing this, I get way better. I got to go back to doing this. I get really good rear end movements on my dogs, really good left turns. Okay, so you can work it back this way. And again, you can, so you could do something, you know, again, where you call them in, da-da-da, get in, okay, and you can, and I'll set up, you can, I start making up my own configurations as I go, and how well the dog's doing. Quite often it's like, oh, you know, should I go this way, and da-da-da, because it's hard once you start making turns and stuff, but it makes them work their bodies.
Nice, strut. Awesome.
Plus, it'll make your halts better too.
Good.
Okay?
Yay.
Because it's
Yay.
not this perfect healing halt. It's a challenging halt. So they have to really work it.
Nigel, strut.
Good. Now,
Excellent.
good. Now you could make it harder. You see how you're here? He didn't have to work his rear so hard. If you were
If
here,
I were here, he would have worked
right, he'd have to work his rear a little bit harder. So we don't want to wear him out going from place to place. We can make the turns a little bit smaller. And you can also, you could even get in a couple where he did a nice job, and then you could just work around the cone. Work that rear end around the cone.
Nigel, strut. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Okay, now stop. Yeah. So what I meant was forward turn. Yeah, like, because that's more challenging than just going around it. So just take a step forward, get that rear in, and do a halt. see where you're facing? You shouldn't be facing that way. You should be facing towards Charlene, right? Because he's not having to work his rear.
Neji, get in. There you go.
Good. Now try one more turn. Make sure that you stop straight, not on an angle.
Neji, get in.
Better.
Nice.
Good.
Good in.
Good.
Good in. Good boy.
So that's going to help them get that rear. Okay, so I like to just do a lot of this doodling work with them so that they learn how to get the rear in. And sometimes if I'm doing, you know, if you can teach him go sideways a little bit and then circle to the left, that helps a lot too. The other thing I want you to do with him is try, I'm just going to go heeling. You can go as far as the gates, and then I just want you to drop down and like I did with Sparks yesterday and hug the crap out of him, get him really excited, and then just, Nigel, heel, and go off heeling, okay? I know, he's like, he's like, time's up. Gordon, you can get your dog out and get him ready. Time's up. And then just down the gates. Good. And just drop down and hug the crap out of them. Oh, you're so good. Good. And now just assume heel position and go. 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 Nice and strong. Strong heeling. Straight. Yeah, that's a scary place.
Oh,
That's a scary place. So what we're going to do, okay, he did nice there. Okay, I would consider doing a little bit of tactile, like you're heeling along, and then all of a sudden you just start loving up your dog out of nowhere, you know. So they don't know when these things are going to happen. So this is scary. So what we're going to do is help them with it. And I would just get a treat. What I do when these things happen with scary places is I'll treat, so I'll get little tiny efforts with a treat and tiny hand touches, and then I'll work it so that I can get a little more. So try that with them. I won't talk during it, so you don't have the speaker to deal with. Touch it.
All right. Let's go. Get it. Good.
And start working it into it.
Get it.
That's it.
Good boy. Let's go. Get that butter and go. Yeah. Give it.
Perfect. And I think you can complete, after you complete this turn, I want you to just drop and love on him.
Okay.
Right in a scary place. Good. Good. So nice, just so that it's really, and then just really, you know, sometimes it's just love. You know, it's not pushing. It's not, you know, trying to get him excited. It's just getting him so that he knows. They know that you're really, you're really happy with him. Okay. So those are a few things. The other thing that you could work on a little bit on and off with him is having a helper hold him and do some catch up. Okay, more often than not. Just so that because they usually want to drive away. So the more times you can get the kind of healing that you want and express that you're happy with it, you know, I mean, because he is trying, he just has his energy level is at a certain period, you know,
Right.
he can go so far. But I find that comes with maturity and just working them more so that they get used to, you know, you can't do these big, long healing duration things and think that, you know, you're going to teach healing duration that way. So, but that was good. And I think he told us he was done. So
Yeah, he has about 5 or 10 minutes.
yeah. No, he was up for about 15, and I think he did really well.
Good boy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, so Michelle, that's beautiful. Notice how Michelle's leading him off the floor. So that shows that she learned something, okay?